Hello everyone, and welcome to Tea Time with Acupuncture is My Life. Now today I'm not taking any one individual's recommended topic, suggested topic, submitted topic. I'd like to discuss an interesting week in which I've had at the clinic, at the Acupuncture is My Life clinic here in New York City. I've had quite a few cases dealing with depression and anxiety that the underlying cause was pretty shocking to me. As I was doing intake, and to my surprise, I would say over 23 patients, similar reasons to depression, or the similar underlying causes to their depression or anxiety, so forth and so on. And then how much it correlated with what I was seeing in the news, that was also a surprise to me. And that was Asian hate. I've had quite a few people come in for acupuncture treatment and wanted to know if acupuncture can help with depression and anxiety and so forth, worry. And yes, I've been speaking on this for several weeks now. This pandemic has done so much damage to the human organism, mentally, physically, spiritually. But one alarming aspect of depression, of anxiety, that a few of my patients have pointed out was their hatred toward Asians. And it's a touchy subject, and I totally disagree with it. To just feel a group of people, race, culture, is responsible for this virus, this pandemic, I have problems with that. And I don't support that. And no one here at Acupuncture is My Life supports that. So I guess, and I'd asked a few individuals who supported such, in my opinion, ignorance. So the Asian person that you see walking around in Brooklyn, New York, or Manhattan, Queens, New York, that person's responsible for this pandemic. So you just point out a particular race, a particular culture, and just say that they're responsible. This is why we're faced with what's going on today. Just take a moment and just sit back and give that some thought. You make the decision, a person makes a decision to assault someone else, whether it's verbal or physical, because it's of their understanding as a result of watching the news, that they're responsible for the pandemic. Wow. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist, But in my acupuncture sessions, I do talk with my patients to gauge their shin. Because their feedback to certain questions that I asked them, and most acupuncturists do this. Most acupuncturists ask questions to gauge a person's shin. It also helps determine their mood, their feeling for that particular time, that particular day. And if there's any adjustments to their treatment protocol necessary relative to how they're feeling at that moment, it also informs us as to how effective our treatment protocol is. But you'd be surprised some of the things that are on people's minds, and it's good to get it out. It's excellent. It's awesome. And not just the power of the acupuncture needle, but just the power of your opinion as a professional, and standing neutral to whatever thought they may have. Sometimes covering the other side of the fence brings balance to their thought, when you can simply ask a person why, and see, for the most part, how some can't even answer the question of why. Sometimes putting a person in the line of direction in which your hatred is spewed, and ask, what if you were that person? How would you feel if someone were to hate you, someone who doesn't know you, who doesn't even really understand the cause of their hate? Why are you even feeling hate in the first place, and how mentally damaging and can secondarily be considered it can physically damage you as well. And this is why I get into discussions about the mental and spiritual aspects of each of our yin organs and yang organs. How it negatively impacts the organ to lead to disorders, making the organ or the human organism in and of itself more susceptible to external pathogens because of weakened immunity. Think about it. Feeling hate is a potential sickness. I won't even say potential. It's a sickness in and of itself. It's a disorder that has or negatively impacts the body through the mind-body relationship. And as an acupuncturist, it's our job to treat that and restore balance, mentally as well as spiritually. Oh gosh, this tea is delicious. And we can do that. And I find it, I think it's great that there are those that have sought out acupuncture for variations of mental disorders that they may have, and to get to the root of it. Excellent. But today I'm focused on Asian hate, and I just I'd love to speak to my audience, and if there are those that are out there that feel that this podcast can help someone else who's feeling hate toward Asians, they can share this podcast with them. You're hurting yourself when you're hating others. You're hurting yourself when you're hating others. And think about the effects of it. And in many cases, the one or ones that you hate, being unaware of it. Let's start there. Think about how much damage you're doing to yourself. Hate is cancerous. It can be infectious. How do you feel when you're happy? When you're in a good mood? That can be infectious as well, because people around you tend to absorb some of your energy, and you can have a positive effect on someone just standing next to you, feeling your energy. And this is where acupuncture is it's awesome, because to bring about that mental balance, the spiritual balance through acupuncture can affect more than just the patient. It's also those that encounter the patient afterwards and absorb some of their positive energy. And they can begin to feel good themselves. Some people start out their day in a sluggish manner, or they're just off, and they just need an infusion of happiness. And to be around someone that's in good spirits can set their day in a good direction. Hearing individuals wake up and, hey, I have to see my acupuncturist today, and looking forward to it. And just really how it impacts them, how it affects them. Although I'm speaking of Asian hate and stopping Asian hate, I'm also covering hate in and of itself, and the fact that it's very unhealthy for you. It's almost like abusing drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. Because I've seen people that'll say to me, at the Acupuncture My Life clinics, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I eat well. Why do I feel like this? And when I open up and get them to understand the mind and the spirit plays a role on your health, it becomes a thing of, wow, I didn't know that. But yeah. And it becomes important that, to me, the focus of putting together a treatment protocol for that patient would be partly to bring about mental and spiritual balance to their life with the use of acupuncture needles. I teach some of my patients Tai Chi, Qigong, change their mindset in many ways for the better. Just to wake up early morning and to go outside and center themselves and do Tai Chi. How it affects their outlook on life, the same as acupuncture can. Tai Chi, these are all modalities of Chinese medicine. But just a positive outlook on life and not harboring hatred toward anyone is super important. And right now, in the midst of a pandemic, we tend to look for the why. Why are we here? Why are we faced with this problem? Because everyone's looking for a solution. And sometimes what you may feel is a solution is not. It isn't. It just makes things worse. And this is why it pays to be proactive. And this is why I say over and over again, sit with an acupuncturist. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how much acupuncture can help you. Mentally, physically, spiritually, all types of ailments. It's important to sit with an acupuncturist, to discuss whatever you feel may ail you, and you'll be surprised. This, again, is why I say follow Acupuncture's My Life on every social media platform, as well as YouTube under Acupuncture's My Life, and on Twitter under Acu_is_my_life. There's so much information on these platforms that are available to you to learn more about acupuncture and how it can be of benefit to you or a loved one. You'd like to talk with us in private, just download the app. We'll engage in private chat sessions regarding acupuncture and how it can be of benefit to whatever ails you. This is important. It's limitless ways in which you can benefit from being proactive regarding your health. Seeing a variation of allopathic specialists, as well as discussing your ails again with an acupuncturist. Because as I always say, health is wealth. But if you're feeling hatred toward anything, anyone, see an acupuncturist. You'll be surprised, because hate can be considered cancerous. It's very unhealthy. But if we're going to get through this as a global community, we have to start by knocking down the walls of division and looking to attain some type of mental balance across the board so that we can all work together to get through this pandemic. You have to be proactive in releasing hate and interesting week, whether it was through various news sources or patients that have come in the clinic or what have you. And noticing hatred towards Asians is just, no, not good. You're hurting yourself. But again, sit with an acupuncturist and open up. Feel free. You can contact Acupuncture's My Life. Engage in a telehealth session. Engage in private chat sessions on the Acupuncture's My Life app on the Google Play Store. There's a variation of ways at acupuncturesmylife.com. You can decide as to how you'd like to contact us. But even here, this is a problem, and we have to do away with this. I mean, talk to an acupuncturist. But I'll say this, and then I'm going to finish up my tea. To close out tea time with Acupuncture's My Life is, think even to yourself. As I always say at the end of each episode, acupuncture is my life. What's yours?